So here's a question for you all. What was NetherRealm doing for 4 years? Because it wasn't this. And by this, I mean Mortal Kombat 1. Hello everybody, I'm back again to talk about Mortal Kombat 1, and in my last MK1 video where I more or less reviewed the game, I talked about how everything beyond the core gameplay has been downsized and made worse. And as I play the game more, this has only become more apparent. In fact, I think I gave the gameplay slightly more credit for holding the game up than was necessary. While I do believe the core gameplay is what holds the game up, the gameplay's knees are indeed wobbling trying to keep this game afloat. And so one thing I want to say before I get the ball rolling is that in my previous video I rated MK1 an 8 out of 10. I want to turn that into a 7.5. After further examination, I think the score deserves to be shrunken down a bit, and so I feel a 7.5 is the more accurate score for the game. Because I gotta be frank, this game kinda hurts, man. Listen, I love Mortal Kombat. I love it. I've said in the past that I think overall, NetherRealm makes the best fighting games. And while Mortal Kombat 1 isn't a bad game, it's very disappointing. Imagine this. Imagine you have a favorite pizza place, and the pizza is delicious. Sauce, cheese, crust, immaculate, and it always comes packed with tasty toppings. Even when the toppings have been changed around, they're always good and all over that pizza. Then, one day, you order from your favorite spot. You get the pizza and there are no toppings. The pizza's still good, sure, but what happened to the part that really sent it over the top? You might eat the pizza, sure, it still tastes good, it's still pizza after all, but you can't help but be disappointed. That toppingless pizza is Mortal Kombat 1. And I'll tell you what really triggered this video, what really drove home a feeling that I already had. MK1 has a shrine where you put in 1,000 of your digital coins and you will get a reward, effectively acting as a slot machine. So instead of a crypt, we have invasions and a slot machine. And this slot machine is where you will get the bulk of your new items. Now the other day, as I was pulling for new items, I was suddenly sent back to the main menu. What the hell, did I press the wrong button or something, I thought? So I just went back into the shrine, and when I did, I got a message. Shrine complete, it said. Come back next season for more rewards. And it made me laugh, because I couldn't help but think, I didn't unlock anything though. How can I be done? I've hardly gotten anything, I was just getting started, but I'm done apparently. And in my last MK1 video, I said that the customization is so pitiful, it might as well not even exist, or something along those lines. But I had no idea how right I was. I mean, oh my god, there is really no reason to play this game beyond the kind of base amount of time. There are no incentives to play this fucking game. There are no rewards. Yes, the character designs are blurs of generic nothing, but the alt costumes are often indistinguishable from the original and or just as bad. Even the character mastery, which takes an absurd amount of time, gives out horribly pitiful rewards. Beyond my own ambition to lab and create combos with certain characters, there's really no reason to play the game. It doesn't reward me for playing it. It doesn't, give me that dopamine rush or whatever the fuck. Like, there's just nothing there. Mortal Kombat 1 has had so many corners cut, clearly. The bland character designs, the nearly non-existent customization, the lack of meaningful rewards, the bare minimum approach to character interactions, the lack of an actual arcade boss or sub-boss, daily, weekly, and hourly towers that I swear to God do not change or change very little. I can probably go on, but my point is this. To anyone who's kept up with NetherRealm's games, it should be pretty obvious to you that they rushed this. And that's why I posed the question I did at the beginning. What was NetherRealm doing for 4 years? And don't tell me it was this. You cannot convince me that it was. We've typically gotten more than this in half the time. So what were they doing? Well, we know they had their crunch and toxic workplace issues, so they likely have scaled back the work hours. Okay, cool, but I don't think eliminating or cutting back on crunch alone would result in double the amount of time being taken with obviously less content and quality. If anything, maybe double the amount of time for the same level of quality and content, but here's my theory of what's going on. Now obviously after MK11 we all thought we'd be getting Injustice 3, but you may remember in the midst of the Warner Discovery deal there were rumors that all of Warner's gaming studios would be sold off. Now if that were to have happened to NetherRealm in the middle of production, they would then not have access to the DC license and all of their Injustice 3 work would be moot. So what I think is that they were working on Injustice 3 probably for close to 2 years and then got scared and decided we'd better do something we know we'll have. And so they pivoted into Mortal Kombat. And so you're probably saying, well, it usually only takes 2 years for them to come out with a game. So if they wasted 2 of their 4 years working on something they stopped doing, that would still leave them with their typical 2 years, enough time to make Mortal Kombat as they typically do. And true, you're right to think that, but the early development and pre-production of NetherRealm's newest games overlap with work being done on the previous game. So while you're getting DLC characters and updates for MKX, the planning stages of Injustice 2 development are already happening. And with the planning and general ideas and direction out of the way, when the current game finishes up, you can get right into the real work of the next game. That didn't happen for MK1 because it wasn't supposed to be the next game. Injustice 3 was, at least in my theory. So now we're taking extra time with our no crunch culture and we haven't already done the planning for this stuff, but we need a game. So we rush to slap out a bare minimum product in what is admittedly a pretty convincing veil of spent time. I think anyone who isn't a long-standing NetherRealm fan would have a hard time telling that this game was rushed to the finish. But if you are a longtime fan, it's pretty obvious. But unfortunately, all I can do is theorize as to why it was rushed. All in all, I never thought I'd be this disappointed with the Mortal Kombat game, but here we are. I guess every dev is bound to make a misstep, and here it is if you ask me. All I can hope is that the game turns into something more worthy of the franchise during its lifetime, but I'm not holding my breath. There are too many other good games to play. Whatever though. Tell me what you guys think. I'm sure you think MK1 is the best game in the world and it made you jizz your pants 12 times in a row or some shit, and you're itching to tell me how stupid and wrong I am. So do it. Let me know. Also, feel free to like and or subscribe if you like this video. But until next time, I am Waifu Belector. I am just a normal guy. I like hentai and I want Injustice 3. Goodbye.